What's up, guys? This is Boondocks, and today is another episode of Can They Support, in which we're going to quickly look at Limbo. So, can Limbo support? Yes, but in a very weird and sometimes trolly sort of way. So, in order to kind of understand what makes him trolly and weird, we're going to have to quickly look at his abilities. Now, please try to ignore the values that are on here because, in all honesty, when I first got Limbo, I didn't really know how to mod any of the characters, and I'm almost afraid to go and look at what's on him. With that being said, Banish will displace any target that you affect with it into the Rift. When enemies are put in the Rift, they're going to take some initial damage and then be stuck there for the duration. Now, that enemy can no longer attack anyone in the regular world and cannot be attacked by anyone in the regular world. So the only way to kill him is wait for him to reappear from the Rift or send one of your teammates in to go fight them. You can also cross over by yourself. The nice thing, when you're in the Rift or one of your teammates are in the Rift, they're unable to get targeted by enemies outside. They can kill all the enemies inside as well as gain back 2 energy per second. Now, while they can't attack any enemies outside of the Rift while in it, they can still cast abilities. So what that means is if you get a Ivara in the Rift using Artemis Bow, or any character that can shoot fireballs, ice balls, electric currents, so Ember Frost or Volt, you put them in the Rift, now they can't be targeted anymore. They're going to be constantly gaining back some energy, and in addition, they can still cast their abilities outside. So because of that, you can use it in very interesting ways to maintain a character's health. The issue is if you're not doing this with people that you actually know and can tell them, hey, I'm putting you in the Rift, those other players might get kind of pissed off. If you're just in a pub group, just a pickup game with random people, and you send one of them into the Rift to fight the 2 other enemies you sent in there, well, next thing you know, this can be kind of devastating. And because of that, you might want to shy away from it. But after you sent enemies into the Rift, you can then activate Rift Surge. This is going to increase the amount of damage that any enemies in the Rift take. And you can buff this up to pretty high levels. As you can see, even with whatever shitty mods I have on here, the damage multiplier is almost at 4 times. Which, if you were to then, say, put an Ember into the Rift, not only would they be taking the 4 damage times multiplier from your Rift Surge, but then they would also take the 4 times multiplier from Ember's Accelerant. And because of that, this can be used to quickly kill high threat enemies like high level corrupted heavy gunners, any Xmas enemies, or maybe a Bombard. Just put them into the Rift, send in one guy to go and kill them, finish them off while they're separated, and yeah, you can quickly burst them down thanks to Rift Surge. Finally, you have Cataclysm, and this is going to cause a big explosion to do some damage, as well as pull multiple enemies into the Rift. Now, this can synergize pretty well with Rift Surge's Augment, which is going to boost the total damage, the damage multiplier by 20% for each enemy in the Rift. So if you can use Cataclysm to pull in, say, 5 enemies, and then use Rift Surge with the Augment on, you're now going to have an additional 100% boost. So my 3.6 multiplier would then go up to a 4.6. And because of that, it's definitely a interesting style of play. But again, it's very trolly and can really piss some people off if you don't warn them ahead of time. And because of that, I tend to try to shy away from Limbo because I usually wind up playing pickup games. But one of my real life friends, it's one of his favorite characters, partly due to the looks. I'm actually not a big fan of the way Limbo looks. But I know a lot of people are for whatever reason. So if you want to try out a character that plays 100% different, is definitely a support frame, but in a very, very unique way, then try Limbo out. You can get them from doing the quest that you can just purchase from the market, build the quest itself, and then go and complete it, and you'll have yourself a Limbo. So, yeah, give them a shot. And until next time, like, comment, subscribe, and peace.